Hi, welcome. If you're new here, my name is Kendra and I love to travel light. So I recently went on a trip to Paris visiting some friends and I spent 11 days there and I packed in just this 10-liter backpack. And if you want to see a full packing list, that is in my first video. But I wanted to share some of the things that I regretted bringing, some of the things that I wish I brought, to kind of give a little context around that video. So here we go. For my accessories, there was a few things I didn't use. First, this necklace. I only wore it maybe one time on the trip. Other than that, I wore my red necklace and my gold necklace. Unfortunately, I don't have the red necklace anymore because I lost it, but I still had it at that time, so I wouldn't have brought this one with me. And then with these two pairs of earrings, I really only wore my hoops, and I could have left behind the chain earrings. I also brought 4 rings just to have some to mix it up, but I really only wore 2 of them at a time, and I pretty much wore the same 2, which was these 2, every day. So I wouldn't have brought all the rings if I were to do it again. And honestly, I know these things are really small, but it makes it easier just to not have to worry about all these little items and losing them and packing them, even though they don't take up very much space. I also had 2 headbands. I had this one and a brown one, and I actually didn't wear either of them, but I still would have kept the brown one because sometimes if you have like a wash day and you need to style your hair before you wash it, it is good to have a headband or for working out. But since I didn't wear either, I think I definitely didn't need 2. I also would not have brought my sunglasses. I have those magnet sunglasses that go on top of my regular glasses, and that was all I wore. And finally, I brought this tote bag, but I really didn't need it because my friends have a lot of tote bags, so I could have just borrowed one. Even if I were to bring a tote bag and not need to borrow one, I could have brought a much smaller one. For my beauty products, as soon as I came back, I realized I really didn't need to bring this lipstick with me. I really love wearing a red lip, but it's more of a winter color, and I didn't use it at all on my trip. For this other side, these are products that I've stopped using since reading the book Skin Sobering. It talks about how pretty much all skincare products either do nothing for us or actually damage our skin. And since reading it, I decided to give it a try. So just using water and sometimes pure soap to wash your face, and then avoiding as much as possible makeup products. So since doing Skin Sobering, I stopped using my skincare products, which the ones I brought was I had aloe vera in a jar similar to this, and then an oil, and then also a hand cream. And then most of the makeup I no longer use. So concealer, eyeliner, mascaras, and brow gel. And in place of all of those, I use just some Vaseline. And I use the Vaseline, I curl my lashes and then comb it through my lashes instead of mascara. I use my regular soap just to do soap brows. And then if I'm going to wear any blush, I do try to apply it sparingly and over the Vaseline. I'm not exactly following the Skin Sobering rules, but it definitely helps with travel. So all of these products will be replaced by just this Vaseline, which makes it a lot smaller. And I could even have put it in a little container like this or something even smaller because I don't use very much of it at all. So that would definitely have saved a lot of space for me. One more thing I forgot to say about the Vaseline. I use it very sparingly if I really do need a little bit of moisture on my face or on my hands, nails, anything. And then the one other product that I am still using is sunscreen. This one in particular is not really recommended by the book, but they do recommend using sunscreen if you're going to be out in the sun for more than 15 minutes and can't use some sort of like physical protection like a hat or sun clothing because the sun does do more damage to your skin than the product. So I would have kept these 2 products, although possibly put them in smaller containers to make it easier to travel with. A couple more miscellaneous items that I didn't use. First is not in the video, but I brought more underwear than I needed. I could have gone 1 or 2 pairs less with the amount of laundry that we did. Second is this notebook and pen, which I thought I might take some notes or journal a little, but I didn't use it at all. I used the pen one time just to sign my passport, which probably should have done before I left anyway. And I'm sure I could have found a pen somewhere to do that, so could have left this behind. I also brought this pair of headphones along with my Bluetooth headphones, and honestly, I only really needed 1 pair, and I probably would have kept the plug one so I didn't have to worry about the headphones dying. And then also I realized this cord I only needed for those Bluetooth headphones, so I could have gotten rid of this as well. I think I would have been able to not put anything in my boyfriend's bag had I done this, because this was one of the items that he carried for me, and my sunglasses, which I didn't really need, so would have been able to keep it all in my bag. And then just a couple of items that I didn't use but I still would bring. I had 2 masks with me, and because I wore one on the plane and then I did laundry, I didn't need to have a second one because I just wore it on the plane home. But you never know if, something gets on it while you're eating or you drop it on the floor and you don't want to put it back on again. It is kind of nice to have 2. So I would have still brought 2 masks. And then I didn't need my nausea bracelets or my nausea medication. Like I said in my previous video, I don't usually get motion sickness on planes, but I never want to be in this scenario where I might get motion sick and feel like I need to vomit and not have these things with me. So I was glad I brought them even though I didn't use them. A couple items that I didn't have that I wished I did have with me. First is some nail polish. This looks pink, but it's actually like a clear coat that just kind of gives a little bit of extra color to your nails. I painted my nails before I left and I thought it would last, but it didn't. It only made it like 5 days, and so I needed to take it off and reapply. So I ended up purchasing a nail polish. So I would either bring the nail polish if I'm going on that long of a trip, or just decide that I'm not going to have my nails done. And then I didn't run out of socks, but I almost did. I could have used another pair of socks. I a lot of times sleep in socks as well, especially when it's a little bit cooler at night still, like it was in April. So I think that's why I was a little bit short on socks. And of course, it wasn't all travel regrets, so I just wanted to share a couple of items that I was really glad I brought with me. First is my sneakers. I had bought them just prior to the trip, so I wasn't totally sure how it was going to go with them, but they really were perfect. They're great for walking in, really comfortable. I always wear barefoot style shoes, but I love how these ones are barefoot style, but a little bit more stylish, kind of more of a regular sneaker look, and I was able to style them with all my outfits really well. Second is my eye mask and earplugs. For me, that's vital for sleeping on the plane, which I had red eye, so that was really important, but also for sleeping in a new area. It really helped me get good quality sleep so I could have the most fun throughout the rest of the days. And then this tiny little air mattress is really a game changer for visiting friends who might not have a big apartment or a guest bedroom or even their own air mattress. So my friends live in one of those really tiny Paris apartments, and this allowed me to stay with them, which let us spend a lot more time together and then also save me a lot of money. Definitely would recommend this if you're a budget traveler and you're thinking about staying with people who might not have the best sleep setup. It was really comfortable. I slept on it for 8 or 9 nights. I slept on this and I was totally comfortable. I had one comforter that my friends had an extra comforter, so I was able to fold it up and put it on top of that, which added a little padding, but even so, it was really nice. Another thing I loved that I brought was all of the clothes that I packed. I really enjoyed all the outfits and I used every piece of clothing. You can see my last video for more details on that. And that's it. This is how I would have been able to pack even more lightly for my 11-day trip to Paris. Thanks for watching. Bisous!